So the Bloodbath and Beyond guys are doing a contest now that they have 5,000 followers. 5,000 followers. That must be nice. What do we got down here? 109? Something like that. Nonetheless, they're doing a contest, and they want people to do a video entry and tag the contest to enter the contest so that they can collaborate with the guys. And I've been watching their show for a long time now. I think I started watching their show around the time they did the Pork Chop movie, which I am friends with Eamon Hardiman, and I own Pork Chop, and I like pork chop, and I eat pork chops too, but that's beside the point. So I thought, why not enter one of these videos and see what happens? You know, maybe we'll get picked or something like that, and then I can get thousands and thousands of followers. So anyway, the question is, what got me into horror movies? What took me from being a little old skinny kid that was like pro wrestling probably more than he should, and got me into a guy that's sitting here right now with this probably 2,000 odd Blu-ray and DVD collection behind me? It's a bit of a complicated story. Let's see, it goes all the way back to probably the late 80s to the early 90s, and it started with these kids are called Nintendo Entertainment System games. These are NES games. These are cartridges. See, you didn't need a memory card, a hard drive. You didn't have to have a hard drive. And if they didn't work, you would do that for some reason and stick them in there. You know, not all the way in there, just a little bit in there, and shove them down real hard just so they would work. But this is what got me into horror. Now you ask, how did this happen? Because these were at a thing called the video store. A thing that you don't have these days, or at least you don't have in the numbers that you used to have. They're more novelty things now than what they used to be. They used to be a necessity. Now they're just a novelty. But I would go and I would rent these on the weekend, because if you rented them on Friday, you got to keep them until Monday. So I would rent these different games, primarily these, because I had obviously no taste in games whatsoever renting this. But of course this was actually a really good game. And people in the family would rent horror movies. And I had a TV that was in my living room. It was like right over here. And right over here, on the other end of the room, was the television that the family used. So while I was over here playing this and not being offended at the time that there's only like 6 people on the game and they can't get out of the ring and all that good stuff, and that Hulk Hogan was orange, they would be popping in stuff like The Stuff. But more importantly, they'd be popping in stuff like Friday the 13th. And for you who don't know, these are called VHS tapes. VHS tapes, kids. They have tape in them. Footage film. They have a movie on them. You pop them in your VCR like so. It goes down there at once tape. It plays the movie. And you have to fast forward by holding a button if you want to get past the trailers. And that's how it was done back then. But while I was sitting here playing my little game, looking up this way, playing the game, playing as I'm Hulk Hogan or Bam Bam Bigelow, or I'm Double Dragon on that level where you have to jump and you can't win because you can't jump right because the things keep disappearing. While that's happening, I kept on looking over here. Like there's something on that TV. There's boobs on that TV. There's boobs on the television. There's people getting cut up. There's all kinds of cool effects. It wasn't CGI effects back then. So I stopped watching the video game. I would put it on pause, or I'd just cut it off, and I'd go over here and I'd watch the horror movie. And then on the weekend, I didn't want to go rent Paperboy. I didn't want to go rent Technobo. I wanted to go rent stuff like this, or crap like the Full Moon movies. And I don't know why I wanted to rent those now, looking back, but I did. And so to answer the guy's question over at Bloodbath and Beyond, what got me into horror was VHS tapes and the video stores in the early 90s and the late 80s, watching stuff like Sleepaway Camp 2, and then being afraid to go use the bathroom in the dark by yourself that night because it was still on your mind a little bit. You didn't know if some woman with a penis was going to jump out and try to, you know, kill you. But that's how I got from being a wee little lad who liked wrestling way too much to being a big lad with all this junk behind me that I can't take when I die. But regardless, that is what got me into horror films. And if for some reason you're watching this and you've never watched the Bloodbath and Beyond videos, I want you to click down here at the bottom and go do that now, because that's a high quality production. They've got nice cameras. They've got 3 people doing it. They have friends. So there's more than one person doing it. And maybe if somehow you watching them brought you to this, then like and subscribe. And go to zombiesdon'trun.net and buy my movie Morbid, which is coming out August 25th from Wild Eye Release.